Joburg Water has since Tuesday been conducting water quality testing in parts of the Johannesburg city centre following reports of an unusual odour in tap water. The utility said that the affected areas, including Albertina Sisulu Road and surrounding streets, namely 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th Avenues, as well as 10th Street, tankers have been deployed to provide water as utility officials urge caution, stressing that residents should avoid consumption until further notice. The communications manager at WaterCAN, Jonathan Erasmus, says this demonstrates South Africa's water crisis.
We did run a series of our own tests. That was through our water testing campaign that we ran earlier, not just a couple of months ago. And we released the findings of that report in the beginning part of December. And what we found in that report was, generally speaking, we've got a water crisis in our rivers, dams, and several taps. So we found a bacterial load very high across these spectrums. And this really impacts health, and this impacts confidence in the water system. So this latest event, I think it's really happened in the areas that include Albertina Sisulu Road and the surrounding streets, namely the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th Avenues, as well as 10th Street. You know, this latest thing, I think, just goes to the point that we do have a crisis in provision of potable water. What is positive about this is that Johannesburg Water did launch precautionary water tests. They've done what we would have asked immediately if one of our members had found it. They've also tried to isolate where the fault is, and they've issued a notice. This is a thing that we at WaterCAN often do. If we find water that is problematic, we immediately request municipalities or the Water Service Authority to issue those notices. But once again, as said earlier, this really highlights the crisis that we are facing, not just in Johannesburg, by the way, countrywide, with the provision of clean, potable water. What we often ask municipalities to do is issue boil notices. So boil the water. That's the quickest, surest way to get rid of any kind of bacteria that may be sitting in there. That is the immediate thing for anyone to do. And just rely on the sensors. The sensors are probably our greatest weapon that we have. If it smells funny, if it looks funny, it probably is funny. And just rely on your own common sense before drinking any water that you've given. And of course, as I said earlier, just boil it, make sure it's clean. Just keep that water as clean as possible and try to find alternative sources until you get notified that your regular source through your tap is back to normal.